All right, what is going on, Gorilla Gang? So, I'm starting a series. What? I wanted to do one long video on small unit tactics, but it just wound up being way too long of a video. So we're gonna break this thing down. My whiteboard has been sitting in the rain, but thankfully, I have a nice United States Marine Corps issue Polar Tech fleece beanie, now available on odggllc.com. See what I did there? It's like product placement.
Right, we are consumers.
Anyway, so I'm going to be teaching you guys bounding.
Moving! Moving! Move! Moving! Hey, can I move? Moving! 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 Moving!
And that is the only thing we're going to go over today. Why? Because, well, there is a lot to go into small unit tactics. Also, this whiteboard couldn't possibly be more wet. Was this in the ocean?
Beyond the sea,
I mean, I realize it's Washington State, but good Lord. Ooh, red one. All right, let's see if I can't write on this. The moment of truth. Dun dun dun. I can write. I'm going to be discussing a few things of assets that you might have on hand, trying to prepare for this. So let's talk field manuals, let's talk books, let's talk resources. Wait one. All right, first of all, you guys should have saw this coming. You should have expected this. If you followed this channel for any amount of time, you know that we need our copy of Shrek. This is going to give us the morale. This is going to give us the energy. This is going to give us the mental fortitude to be able to push forward and accomplish our mission without failure. With Shrek and Donkey by our side, we will prevail. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. All right, so let's get into the next thing. So I went out and bought all of the Tactical Wisdom manuals. There is some really good information in these. Now, as far as specifically this topic, I would say that your scouting and patrolling book is probably going to come into play the most. Maybe some baseline as well, but that scouting and patrolling is probably going to be your winner. Fieldcraft, also not a horrible topic to go into. All right, so next we're going to have our Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. Once again, after reading all those manuals, you're going to be mentally taxed. It is a lot to read that much, so you're going to make sure that you guys are keeping up on that morale, okay? We want to make sure, you know, it's all about hearts and minds, guys, hearts and minds. So if you are not mentally in the game, you're out of the fight. Green Eggs and Ham, Dr. Seuss. What a banger. All right, so next we're going to get into some dry ass knowledge. So we have the Ranger Handbook. This is one of the more recent editions, 2017. Hilarious that by talking about a field manual, I can say recent by saying 2017. But for the Army, that actually is recent. I know guys that are still, you know, quoting manuals from the 90s. Unless it's Rhodesian stuff, then, you know, and that's before the 90s, because still great information there. But that is everything on books and morale. So let's get into it. So cold. Oh man, that looks like it sucks. Did you not read the packing list? We said ODGG whoobies. No? No, I didn't think I would need it. Yeah, man, that looks like it sucks. I packed 3, so, you know. Does that mean that I could have one of yours? No, go fuck yourself. Oh, okay. That's cool. Whoobies, now available on odggllc.com. I'm going to start off in a file formation. So I'm going to assume that we have a team of 4. Realistically speaking, you know, if you guys have a team of 4 dudes, you are sitting pretty. You're looking good, all right? If you got a team of 4 hitters, 4 guys that know what they are doing, oh man, the world is yours. 4 to 6 is ideal, right? I mean, hell, if you can get 2, that's awesome. You can't do a whole lot of small tactics with 2, but that would be awesome. All right, so let's assume that we are moving in a file formation. So what is a file formation, you might ask? A file formation is going to be all of your guys in one row. So the reason that you would walk in a row of everyone and your direction of travel is, oh wow, that's bad. I'm trying, I swear. All right, so you are walking in your direction of travel in a single file line. The best place that this is going to really, really start to shine is heavy ass foliage. So let's say that you are walking in your single file line because of foliage, because of terrain, because of maybe you even have a larger force, right? Maybe you have women, children, what have you, and you are trying to disguise your numbers. Another great thing, especially if you are moving through things that are going to give a lot of tracks, right? So your mud, your snow, your sleet, your sand even. If you're trying to disguise your tracks, your file formation is going to be ideal. Where a file formation really falls short, however, is if you are walking in a file formation and then you have, wow, this is impossible. Let's say you have a machine gun nest up here, right? Oh, you know what? Hold on, stand by. Pause, 1 second, wait. You know what? Do push-ups while I'm gone. How about that? Just fucking do push-ups. God. You guys better be fucking pushing, or else when I get back, things are going to get bad. Okay, and we have our magnets. Were you pushing? Were you actually doing it? Were you actually pushing? I don't think you were. I think you're a fucking liar. Are you even a follower here? Are you even part of the tribe? You are. Oh. Anyway, I found magnets. Nerp. Okay, so we're just going to we're going to say that these are friendly forces. All right. Oh, you know what? Pause. Wait again. I wonder if I have any more magnets on the fridge. Oh, if I had a California magnet, that would be fucking perfect. I don't know if I'd. Oh, Ohio. Ohio wins. We have an Ohio magnet, guys. All right, so Ohio is our bad guy, because Ohio doesn't exist. Okay, so we are moving in this direction. So wherever the tip of the ATS is, that's where we're going to be moving, or where we're going to be looking. Okay, so we are moving along this, right? And we have a machine gunner, and he opens up fire up here. All right, so you guys are in a single file line for a machine gunner. That is absolutely perfect. That is the creme de la creme. If you are a machine gunner and you are facing down a narrow avenue somewhere where you guys have already set up the perfect ambush, this is a child candy store. All right, this as a machine gunner is what you want to see. So if you guys are in more open terrain, right? So, you know, if you are on a road or something like that and you got a machine gunner that's, you know, set up an ambush, this is what you want to see. So if you're in a larger space, once again, this doesn't work. But let's say that you guys are all moving towards and you guys start taking fire. So you're going to have a couple of options. This is going to come down to your team leader. This is going to come down to SOPs. But what you guys can do is you can either get on line. So everyone comes up like this. So everyone gets on line and you start shooting forward and you start pushing forward. So when you get on line, from here, your team leader, if they are still alive, is going to give the command that you guys are either going to bound back, you guys are going to bound forward, or you guys are going to peel left or peel right. Those are realistically your options. If you feel like that you can take this force, then, you know, push forward. If you guys take casualties, which realistically you're going to take casualties, that is going to change up the game. So let's say that you lose one guy. All right, let's say that this one dude is now borked. How many people does it take to get him out of the fight? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. Realistically, it's going to take the entire team. So you have one guy might run up and let's say he's only wounded, all right? Grab him, pull him to cover. Now you guys are non-combat effective. As soon as a team this small takes a casualty, even one, all right, you are non-combat effective. That is 25% of your fighting force. It is realistically going to take all three of these guys now to get this one guy out of that fight. You have to think about a multitude of things. How gassed are you guys already? How much farther do you have to go? How large is your Ohio force? Let's say that we wanted to do a peel left. What we're going to do is we're going to call out that we are peeling left. Oh, let's say we're going to peel left. So you have all of your guys online. Hopefully, if you are, you know, in a road, you guys, here's the road. That's just, once again, kind of worst case scenario. If I was to get hit with an ambush, that's probably where I wouldn't want to be, is along a road. But let's just say, you know, you are. Okay, so you are peeling left, so you are somewhat online. So you're going to have your right guy, might be your team leader. Who knows where he actually winds up, depends on your SOP. So he's going to scream peeling left. Everyone repeats peeling left. So when he is going to then break from his firing position, he's going to come behind. Once again, I am emphasizing this, that you are going behind the firing line, all right? Every one of these guys is, if I had a marker that worked, okay, it doesn't matter, I guess. Every one of these guys is firing, all right? And I've seen this happen with live rounds on active military and on the civilian side. Guys will run forward sometimes because they're fucking idiots and they haven't trained enough and they're frantic and So you're going to go behind that guy. You're going to tap him on the shoulder. You're going to squeeze him. It's going to depend on your SOP. You are going to give him some sort of physical acknowledgement that you're there, and you are going to say last man. All right, and then you're going to push. Now this guy knows that he's the last guy on that side, and what you guys are going to do, and you're going to come over here. Hopefully you have comms. If you don't have comms, that's fine, whatever, but you are going to scream set. This guy is going to scream moving, but when you are leapfrogging, you're not waiting for that second command of move, moving, move. Or correction, moving, move, set, moving, move, set. So as soon as he gets that set, now he's going to leapfrog over here, and you guys are trying to leapfrog away from this. Or what you might do is leapfrog over here. These two guys are in a decent amount of cover. They're returning fire, and then you're going to do a L-shaped ambush with this team right here. So while they're providing covering fire, these guys move up, and then they're going to try and flank that element with what is known as a L-shaped ambush. You're creating a L here. So these guys are firing, firing, firing. These guys are going to come up online. And then once they get online with this element, and I'd like to also emphasize, usually you would have a lot more forces for doing an L-shaped ambush. Trying to keep teams of 2 the best you can is going to be your best case scenario. This is also going to depend heavily on if you guys have QRF, if you have anyone to call to come give you backup. But like I was saying, so you have your 2 guys here, you have your 1 guy that's just laying down suppressing fire. Maybe this guy is covering rear security, or maybe he's also laying down suppressing fire and they're doing talking guns. If you do not know what talking guns is, you're going to have 2 guys that are, you know, roughly a grenade's throw away. It depends on your cover, it depends on the scenario that you're in, but he's gonna go die motherfucker die. So bang, 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 bang. With your platform, giving burst of fire, you're trying to, in your head, say, die, motherfucker, die. Die, motherfucker, die. Die, motherfucker, die. A lot of what I'm telling you right now is SOP. This is what I've been trained as. I guarantee there are hundreds, if not thousands, of men out there and different teams that have completely different SOPs, completely different plans of how they're going to do this. But if you are talking guns, he's going to give a bang, 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 bang. Pause. This guy, bang, 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 bang. This guy, bang, 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 bang. You're giving a constant string of fire downrange. What this element is trying to do is they're trying to provide covering fire, and they're trying to draw as much attention onto them for these guys to be able to emplace and actually do their L-shaped ambush. So once these guys get online, they could start firing back here. They could start firing up here. It depends on terrain. It depends on the scenario, what have you. Once they get online with them laterally, they are then going to call out shift fire. So if they are firing, you know, maybe over here, now they are going to traverse fire and they're going to start firing more this direction. That way you don't have your blue on blue, your green on green. Then they are actually going to get up on the objective. They are now then going to call up lift fire. They stop shooting altogether. So for a proper L-shaped ambush, best case scenario, you're gonna have more guys in this. You might not, but best case scenario. So these guys, to complete your L-shaped ambush 100%, these guys are going to push through the objective all the way through, and then you're gonna have these guys, they push through the objective again, so you have a full sweep, and then once everything is clear, then you're all going to come together and going to start collecting firearms, ammunition, SI, start going through sensitive items. You're gonna start picking pockets, seeing, going through backpacks, seeing if they have any viable intel, any information, thing that you might be able to want to use further. What you guys are going to do is that you're going to start pulling security all the way around where this was, so you can go through, you have your security element 360 degrees. Once again, this is going to depend on if you have QRF, if you guys are expecting anyone from any direction. Comes down to initial contact. So we are going to rewind a little bit, and if I'm missing a few things, that's fine. This is not 100% doctrine. I'm just kind of trying to give you guys a down and dirty. Let's go into the 3Ds. So this first guy, right, when you are in your file formation, let's say that he does live, and this guy is just a horrible shot. So he is going to scream out the 3 Ds: distance, direction, and description. Doesn't necessarily have to be in that order. Once again, your SOP is going to depend on how you do this, but your distance, how far your enemy is away, your description, what is it, what are you seeing, and then your direction. Normally going to be in reference of your direction of travel. I know a lot of guys harp that they want their direction to be north, south, east, west, but let's be real, give a north, south, east, west. That is going to be best. This guy is going to give out those 3Ds. What it's going to do is it's going to give your rest of the team that little bit of information that they know where they're being shot at from, roughly who is shooting at them, and how far away they are. That is going to be the necessary information to start this engagement. All right, so that was just one single direction with one single formation. So for this one, I'm probably going to stick with a file formation, and the next video we'll go a little bit more into it. But let's say that you guys are walking in your file formation and you have contact on your left side. So what you guys are going to do is, once again, you are going to get online. You guys are immediately going to call out the contact left and then give your 3Ds if it's applicable. And then what I would recommend is, dependent on your terrain, dependent on if you guys are seeing gunshots just everywhere, if the entire wood line is riddled with just flashes, I would highly recommend not to push up and just get the absolute hell out of there. So then what you guys are going to do You guys could either choose to leapfrog from here, or you guys could peel back. This is going to be completely, once again, situational dependent, Met TC, and then SOP. So you guys pushed forward off the road. Everyone now has decent cover. Once again, if you guys were not tracking, there's a huge difference between cover and concealment. Cover is actually something that is going to stop a bullet. So that's going to be earth, that's going to be dirt, that's going to be concrete, engine blocks. That's going to be something that can actually stop a round. Concealment is just that they can't see you. So that's getting behind, foliage, getting in bushes, getting in trees, hiding behind a vehicle, etc., etc., etc. Now you can have cover and concealment together. Exactly what you want. Not always are you going to get that though. If all you can get is concealment, take it. Also, you have to think about, God, there's so much to go over in this, guys. There's so much to go over in this. In Pacific Northwest, we have a multitude of trees. If you guys were not tracking, trees, dependent on their size, are terrible cover. They're decent concealment. They're terrible cover dependent on their size, because it is extremely easy to flank a tree. Not only that, when you pop out on the side of a tree, you're going to then be doing what is called tree cancer, where you see a tree and then there is cancer on the side of it. There are some trees that, grow those lumps on the side. It is formerly known as tree cancer. When you have a guy that's leaning out on the side of a tree, you can easily see his silhouette dependent on the terrain behind him. Now, if you are being shot at, I highly, 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 highly doubt you are going to have the time and mental bandwidth to be, making sure that you have the best spot possible. I'm like, well, I do like that spot. Well, I do like that spot. It's going to be difficult. We're going to rewind a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. There's just a lot to go into this, and I'm only one guy. So let's say that you are once again moving in your file formation. Actually, it doesn't even matter right now. You are moving in your file formation. What I want you guys to be doing, and this is going to be each one of these guys, you are going to be consistently scanning 360. When you are moving, the responsibilities of fire, or correction, of observation. I'm really, really, really wanting to draw on this, and it's kind of depressing that I can't. I just want to draw. I want to do arts and crafts. Okay, so we are rewinding again. I'm sorry, guys. There's so much to go into this, and this is why I said that this is just gonna have to be a multiple part series, and there's nothing that I can really do about it. Okay, so you are moving in your file formation. Your responsibilities is each one of these guys has a responsibility doing your best to try to keep that 360 security. So this first guy, realistically speaking, he has all of this. So he's going to be doing his best trying to scan all of this. Now, the second guy, this is going to be situational dependent. You want to assign this. Usually for me, it always starts with left. That's just because land nav, I'm just used to, everything always starting with the left foot being the most important. Is sector of fire, and then fuck me. Okay, you guys understand what I'm getting at. So he's going to have a 90-degree cone on this, a 45-degree cone on this side. This third guy is going to have a 45-degree cone on this side, and then this guy is going to have your entire rear 180. So your rear guy is going to be frequently turning around and doing a full scan of everything behind him. So the reason that I just described all of this is you should be scanning regularly anyways, for enemies and what have you. What time do I have? I have 4 minutes left. Holy hell. I have 4 minutes left on this memory card. So we'll just wrap it up on this. I'm sorry, guys. So while you are scanning consistently, I want you guys to be looking for, where would I dive for cover? Like constantly, you are thinking about, where would you go for cover? So if you have a hill on this side that goes up, and you have a hill on this side to go down, if I was going to attack our element, I would be up here, right? And then what we would probably do is then bound down off of that hill and try to get out of there as fast as we possibly can. Move this team back, these guys giving fire superiority, trying to do talking guns, and then once this team gets back, they're going to give their set, and then they're going to start firing, and that is going to give, the cover is going to give these guys the availability to move, and they're going farther back. So, off of one of my last videos that I posted, there was a lot of people freaking out of how far we were bounding. How far you are going to bound is going to be very, very situational dependent on the terrain that you're actually in. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down is actually unbelievably stupid if you are in open terrain. So you are trying to move and get to the next piece of reasonable cover that you can. And sometimes if the guy in front of you went a decent, bound, then you are going to have to bound twice as far, because now you have to go as far as him. So let's say that your firing line is here, right? So everyone was here. You guys are all shooting. These are two teams. So you guys are both shooting, and then you guys are going to give the move. They're going to give your, they're going to say set. They're going to say move, moving, move, and then once they get to their point, then they're going to say set. But anyway, so let's discussing, how to go about this when I'm discussing the best methods for you to patrol, to react to contact. There is an unbelievable amount that can go wrong here. There are so many different situations, so much doctrine. I'm just trying to give you guys a feel for it, right? Your best thing, your best saving grace. Reading manuals and training with veterans, training with guys that have already done this. A lot of the stuff when it comes to this, I know how to do it fairly well. Teaching it is a pain in the ass. The guys that teach this as a profession, kudos to you, because this is a pain of trying to convey, everything of, oh, well, also this. Well, also this. Well, you could also do this. I was taught when I was at WLC, Warriors Leaders Course. This is it's a month-long school that the Army sends you before you become a non-commissioned officer, a sergeant. So in that school, there was one quote that they taught us during our combat week, is that any choice that you make is better than no choice at all. And that's apparently like an Army Ranger saying. And I firmly believe this, that if you guys are to come under fire, right, and your team, let's say your team leader's here, okay, and then everyone gets online, everyone gets behind cover in some way, and your team leader freezes. He buckles. He doesn't give any command at all. These guys are screaming and asking, what do we do next? Where do we go? What's the plan? And if he freezes, if he doesn't say anything, stress happens. People do weird things under stress when they have never been acclimated, when they haven't trained enough, when they don't have enough experience, what have you. People buckle under pressure. It's hilarious, because I've even seen people buckle under pressure in airsoft. And it's like, and you guys think that you're gonna do this for real. He can't do anything. Your next in chain of command needs to take over, and he needs to take over fast, because when you guys sit, when you do nothing, that is essentially a death sentence. When bullets start flying, the best thing that you can possibly do is continue moving, unless you are already dug in, unless you're in a defendable position. If you guys are out in the open, or if you're being shot at, you need to move, you need to communicate, you need to communicate, you need to communicate. You guys have to communicate. The most important thing you could possibly do here is to communicate. If you guys weren't understanding, you need to communicate. So this is going to be a huge thing when it comes to training this, as it is friendships, as it is relationships. Communication is quite literally everything. Alrighty, so let's go back into our file formation, and let's say that we are going to peel back. All right, so let's say that we're getting shot at from up here, right? So we're walking along a road, or hell, let's say this time we're on a smaller trail, right? Where it's the trail's kind of overgrown, there's a lot of foliage, and it wouldn't allow for us to do a staggered column like so, where you have a 45-degree angle and you guys are offset. This is my preferred method. We're not going to be going too much into staggered column right now, but I would say overall staggered column is probably the best form of movement. All right, so we are in our file formation. We take contact front. So your team leader, maybe he is in the back. You guys are going to decide to stay in your file formation, and you guys are not going to get online. And what you guys are going to do is you're going to start peeling back. So this works much like when we were doing it laterally. We are now going to do it, or I guess horizontally, correction. Now we're going to do it laterally. So he's going to start laying down hate. He's going to run by. He's going to tap that guy as soon as he, or once again, SOP. As soon as he gets online, this guy is just going to start laying down hate, and he's going to run to the rear. And then you guys are going to continue to leapfrog every time you get that next guy off to the left or the right. In this situation, it doesn't necessarily matter, or maybe it does matter in SOP. And so as soon as this guy gets clear of this dude's muzzle, he's just going to start laying down hate. Once again, we are training that talking guns. Talking guns is going to be the best possible method. So we could also do a peel where we get into teams of 2 and we're peeling this way. So you got 2 guys, they're just laying down hate. I personally like moving in teams of 2. I think that keeping battle buddy pairs is the best possible option. So from your file formation, what you guys could do is this guy gets online and then this guy gets online with this one. So now you have 2 teams of 2, and what you're going to do is you're going to start bounding as teams. So you're going to, this guy is going to peel out, this guy is going to peel left, and then you're going to start running back. Now on this one, you very well may not get behind that muzzle. I know the whole muzzle before flesh, but if these guys just get out of the way, right? If they just push left, push right, and then start coming back, that is going to allow, as soon as they get the hell out of the way, that is going to allow these guys to start firing, and then these guys can come back, and then we can continue doing the same thing. I don't even know why I have this in my hands anymore. And that is another method to the madness. If there's anyone in the comments that has, more experience than me, that has more knowledge than I do, that is awesome. By all means, gravitate us, lead us towards knowledge. Oh, wow, it's getting kind of dark. Let's brighten this up just a smidge. Okay. Once again, there is so much that can go into this. This is only a single file formation. This is all that we're doing with right now. Another thing when it comes to single file formation, so let's talk about spacing. So when you are walking in your single file formation, the biggest thing that you're going to be taking into consideration, not only with the machine gun, but you also are thinking about indirect fire, you're thinking about RPGs, you're thinking about grenades, you are thinking about landmines. So because of this, you guys want to be spaced roughly 10 to 15 meters apart. This reasoning is because, let's say that you guys are walking in your file formation and you guys get attacked from the right side. So let's say this guy has an RPG, or maybe they had IEDs in place and they're waiting for the vast majority of your formation to be in the center of the IED to be in the center. They're going to blow that. Well, because you guys had proper spacing, it's not going to take out your entire team. Potentially, you're still combat effective. So let's say that this guy over here, maybe he has grenades, maybe he has RPGs. So once again, he's going to wait for that formation to be into where he sees as his best line of sight or his best opportunity to get more casualties, more bang for your buck. So he's going to throw that grenade, throw that fire that RPG, do what have you in the center of the formation. If you guys are spaced out enough, he's going to not be able to get as many casualties as he wants. Now, this is going to be for day. For night operations, I want you guys to come together and you're going to be significantly closer. So for small unit tactics, if you are trying to space out, so now let's talk about a little bit of hand and arm signals. So if you guys are moving in a formation, you are going to do your best to try and use hand and arm signals. There is a multitude. I'll put up a couple of snippets of hand and arm signals here. There is a lot that you guys can look up in the frame of hand and arm signals, at least for me. And once again, I know I've said this a million times by now, but this is going to come down to your standard operating procedure. This is going to come down to what you guys choose. We have already experienced this where we have different SOPs than other training groups in Washington State. I had that every single unit that I went to in the Army. Mind you, I was only in 3 units while I was in, but the different units that I was in, there was different hand and arm signals because they had different SOPs, they had different men in command, and a lot of SOPs are unit dependent. That's actually one huge thing with the Army that's actually kind of frustrating. I like it, but it's frustrating. You spend 3 years, you get used to operating in a certain way, you get used to operating with a certain SOP, and then you get transferred into another unit, you re-enlist, you go to another unit, and they do the exact same thing, completely different SOPs. Maybe, you know, instead of going left, this guy goes right. Maybe this guy, you know, instead of covering this, he button hooks around, he covers rear. This guy comes. There's so many different things that you could do with SOP. You guys could play this out however you want. Take what I'm telling you now, go outside, flirt around with it, see what works for you. Okay, so first of all, let's say that you guys were previously in a staggered column and you were trying to get to your single file column. So what you are going to do is the first guy, he's going to turn around and he's going to give this signal. Normally you want to do it with your non-firing hand. You want to try to keep your hand on your pistol grip of your rifle the best that you can. So you are going to turn around, you are going to make sure that you get eye contact and give the hand and arm signal to your teammate behind you, and then he's going to turn around and he's going to do the same. And then so you guys are all going to give each other the hand and arm signals, verifying that each person behind you saw it, verifying that each person behind you saw it, verifying that the guy behind you saw the hand and arm signal so that the proper communication was actually sent down the chain. If you send this guy a hand and arm signal, he didn't see this, and then you don't verify that he saw this, that means the rest of the formation is not going to get that information. So you send back your hand and arm signal, you guys are then going to move into your single file line. So there's also, not to be confused with, so this is a file formation. This isn't to be confused with get online. So getting a single file formation and then getting online are different things. Sometimes, you know, we use the same words of line, and that can get confusing with some people. So getting online is going to be everyone online together, and you guys now have a firing line to push forward. A single file line is going to be everyone walking in one file, going one direction. Okay, so let's say then that our front guy, our team leader, looks back and he doesn't like the spacing. Let's say that, you know, like these guys are just bunched the fuck up. And that does happen, especially let's say that, you know, these guys are really hyper focused on pulling their security. Let's say that maybe these guys are getting tired, right? It is our natural instinct to try to gravitate towards the people that we like, that we love, that we trust, that we know. So in the back of your head, you are naturally going to start bunching up together, and that's just what we want to do. It happens, it happens, it happens. I don't know how many times I have to tell guys to space out. So what you're going to do, and you have to have both your hands free for this one. So what we have, our SOP, is you come together and then you're and that is the hand and arm signal of space apart. If you guys want closer together, it's going to be very similar, except for we have both hands open, and it's going to be, now you don't make the clapping noise because that'd be stupid, but, and that's going to be the hand and arm signal to come together or space out. So then I give the hand and arm signal looking back of, and then he's going to do the same, give that command to him, and then they know that they need to space out. So you have a multitude of other hand and arm signals dependent on what kind of terrain that you're going up to. Once again, there's so much information to go into this. There's so much that I could dive into this. But as far as single file formation goes, I want to say that that's about it. If I'm missing other things for a file formation, I will either get it in editing, or we will try to put it in the comment section of anything that I forgot. To my knowledge, that should be everything for the file formation of small unit tactics. Alrighty, so I hope you guys appreciated the video. I know that this was kind of a knowledge dump, and I also know that this was a little esoteric. If you are new to following my channel, that's just kind of what I do. So like, I don't know, get used to it. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys taking the time. Once again, we are selling woobies in a multitude of different camouflages now. I think it's actually just 4, but you know, whatever, I'm still excited about it nonetheless. So hit up the website in the description if you guys are interested in getting one of the new woobies or a fleece beanie. I promise you, you're not gonna be getting this one, because this one is now wet and tired. But as always, appreciate the hell out of you guys. Website and Twitter, Rumble, Telegram, and my Patreon, all those links are going to be in the description. I'm also going to leave a link for the Tactical Wisdom books. I do recommend them. I think that he's put out some incredible information. I would say that the Ranger Handbook is a good source of information as well when it comes to this. The Ranger Handbook in general just has so much information. It is amazing actually how much information the Ranger Handbook has. So definitely recommend those. And yeah, I appreciate you guys always, and I will I will hit you guys in the next one. We will keep this series going, and yeah, appreciate you as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Where's the fucking off button? A lot of what I'm telling you right now is SOP. This is what I've been trained as. I guarantee there are hundreds, if not thousands, of men out there and different teams that have completely different SOPs, completely different plans of how they're going to do